Hey, what's happening, buddy? This is Hayden Adams with A Designer Who Codes, and I'm talking all about how to upgrade or migrate from Gatsby version 2 to version 3. Now, the cool thing is, just about to record this video, I swear, almost on cue, I got this error message in a good way that said update available 2.15.1 to version 3.0. I'm going to run this version, but I also wanted to show you there is a migration tool to make sure that your version of Gatsby works. Now, I'm also running this on my secondary computer. I want to make sure everything works before I put it on my main computer. So with that, here it goes. Let's run this npm Gatsby update. I'll type in sudo to make sure it works, copy and paste. And let's see if this updates successfully to version 3 from version 2.x. Now, there's a couple things to be aware of. We'll let this run in the background that Gatsby needs to run. Keep in mind that you will need to update some of your older projects to make sure that version 3 does work. Most importantly, you will need to update your package.json to the latest version of Gatsby in here. I have no project available to work with, so for right now, everything's running smoothly on this other machine. To do that, you will need to run npm install Gatsby latest to make sure it does change from version 2.x to version 3. Also be aware that the packages you can also run are npm outdated if you find error messages in version 3 from version 2. Also to be aware, I did double check this prior. I'm going to go scroll a little bit lower. Make sure, if I do find this, that your minimal node version is working. Hey, I'm on version 3. Speaking of which, hold that thought. Let's type in Gatsby V and see if this works. Well, that was easy. Thanks, Gatsby, for making this simple. Anyways, back to the minimal node. I just wanted to make sure this was working prior, so I did do a node -v. I think I'm on version 14.15. So do make sure that you have updated your version of Node so it does work. Everything else looks like it's okay. Just to be safe, let's do a quick run through, and I'm going to go to the Gatsby starter default and let's download this to see if it works. So far, so good. We haven't done it yet, really. So I'm going to copy this GitHub repo and I'll come over here, and what I'll do is I'm going to go into my folder for Gatsby. I'll do a Gatsby new, and we'll call this one v3 test. Let's put a dash, make sure it looks pretty good. Drop it in, see if it works. Fingers crossed. So far we're looking good. No error messages across the board. I'm pretty happy. npm install worked pretty good here. But the real test is, can I install the new version and run a new project also? The real trick is not just did it install, but does it work? So I'm sitting here real time, everything's working. I didn't want to cut away from this project to make sure it is working successfully or not successfully. Oh, we got error messages. Well, maybe it's working. Let's take a look and see what's going on. Oh, see, that's what I was worried about. I'm always a little afraid if something kicks into gear and then everything crashes, because one of my worst fears is that I don't see the error messages. So I do have a problem installing this. It does say it's installed, but I'm still going to run this new version 7, in case there was an issue at hand. So I'm going to run this one. And what I will do is sudo that, drop it in. Whoa, I didn't do it right. Let me copy that one more time. npm. And down here, I will sudo paste it in. And what I will do is, even though this did, if I go find my Gatsby folder, it looks like it's fine, but I want to run it again. So I'm going to then just delete it and reinstall it just to make sure. This one worked fine. So let's run that installation one more time. Gatsby new version 3 test. And hopefully, if I do it one more time, it looks like it's going to run. So again, you might have issues depending upon how or where your version numbers land. This is my secondary computer, so I'm not always running it perfectly. And just what I thought, I have no error messages after I updated the npm. So I did have to do 2 updates on my secondary computer, and let's see if it now works. cd v3 test, and we'll do a Gatsby develop. And let's take a look and see how it works. Load plugins, everything's working. Again, I don't want to cut away. I want to make sure everything's working or not working in this scenario. This makes me feel pretty good because I haven't done it on my new machine yet because I want to make sure it worked fine on my secondary machine. If you're working on projects right now, heads up, I don't recommend updating quite yet. I'm in the middle of finishing a project for a client, so I'm actually waiting to finish the project probably by the end of this week, and then I'm going to run my new machine with Gatsby 3.0. But if you are working on a new project, do not do this. So far, everything here looks pretty successful. I'm going to run 8,000. Gatsby default starter, hi people, and the Spaceman is fully intact. So far, everything worked, where'd it go? Pretty successfully from version 2 to version 3, but do be aware you might have to update certain pieces and certain projects may fail or may not fail. I ran a brand new version and everything works fine, but I will put this link in the description below if you want to make sure yours works successfully. But here is how I updated my version from version 2 to version 3.